Okay, greetings, Patriots, Starseeds, Lightworkers, and of course our very brave military. Welcome to 1776 United, and we are in a worldwide and galactic revolution. Now, if you want to message me, you can message me. If you want to make, your comments, you're welcome to make your comments, positive or negative. It don't bother me, right? But I'm going to weigh in on exactly what I believe. Excuse me, what is exactly going on in this crazy world that we've been having to put up with for so many years now. In 1963, after John F. Kennedy was assassinated, or his body double was taken out and he was put into hiding, however that was played out, there was still generals out there, about 20 to 30 of them, that said that they needed to put a battle plan together and to get back at this dark elements that was enslaving our planet. See, there was many good bloodlines that wanted not to have these dark bloodlines and Satanist bloodlines. It's been a battle that's been going on for thousands of years, but it's only been recently in the modern history, the 21st century, that the good bloodlines were able to be strong enough to go on the offensive. Okay? Now, this whole thing is a movie. It's being played out as a movie. There's more than 200,000 character actors, in the central casting that was put together many, many years ago. And it's basically all these who you see as politicians or actors or anything else were systematically taken out by the Global Alliance, one by one, two by two, but they were taken out many, many years ago based on the White Hats having the full evidence and, undisputed crimes that they had committed. So they were able to take them in at any given time, and which they did. Now, these actors, most of them, and I'd say about 80 to 90% of them, maybe more, were replaced by body doubles, actors, or clones. Because the clone situation and the clone world has been basically going on since 1933. Many, many times things would pop up, and it's been shown many, many times, such as, and you'll see on old videos, something like Will Smith and other people like that had, they were coming on showing videos, and they were showing their clones and stuff like that. That was not CGI. That was the actual clone family of Will Smith all coming together and showing it in your face because they had to show you. Okay, so now we're basically in a clone war. They have a dark element clones, dark matters that have been being taken out, and as they're being taken out, excuse me, sorry, but once they've been taken out, the dark hats or black hats would replace them, because that's just what the war was all about. And of course, it was the vice versa, and the same that went with the good patriots that were out there, some were taken out and they have been replaced, or before they were taken out, they had been put into a military protective custody, and their clones sent out to represent them. Okay, so this is a really effed up war. Okay, this is not about get your guns out, Annie, and start shooting at each other. It doesn't work this way. This is all about deception. This is all about trying to gain the narrative for the masses that are out there. And this has been going on for a lot of years. And the real offensive came is when Trump got in, and that might or might have not been Trump. But Trump has several body doubles. Who knows? Putin has, you're not looking at the real people anymore. And, maybe the dark entities and all these clones, we're going to know, if everybody needs to just be more awake of what's going on. The average sleeper, NPC or libtard out there doesn't have a clue what's going on here. They don't have any idea. But it's just amazing to me how there is so many people out there slopping or eating all this slop, thinking that this is in real life events that's going on. The white hats would never allow this type of bullshit to go on because it has a collateral damage to the masses and possible real destruction. So everything had to be done very covertly. And you're going to see, what they want you to see. They are playing this out and slowly unfolding everything, all events. They're slowly unfolding this, okay, in order for the masses and the normals and the normies to accept this psychologically. Because, there's a lot of people out there that are slower in, trying to figure out their reality. They think what they see on TV or, social media is, in fact, what it is. And it's not. Nothing is reality. And this is why I've been, screaming, or not screaming, but I've been, preaching about not throwing your money out into the online banking or anything like that. We're living in a simulation, a matrix, a movie. We are part of the movie. The ones that can see this movie and know what it, for what it is, are the ones that are in the audience. And the ones that don't know what's going on, they're part of the movie. They don't have a clue. And, this is the only way I can, describe this thing, to try to explain the separation on this planet that we have. It's the Patriots and the light workers and starseeds are much more frequency advanced, and they see through the minutia and all the bullshit, and they they go and they resonate with what makes sense to them. Now, they've been plastering us with clones for more than 80 years, okay? More than 80 years they've been hitting us and mass producing these clones through these bio labs and then throwing them out onto the street and whatever. And they have, a lot of them have 24/7 handlers that handle them. Those are the ones that are in more of an influential role that they're playing. But the everyday dum-dums that are walking around with these masks on, or, they got glaze over their eyes, or, they got darker eyes, or, there's something, or they're doing repetitive things and really stupid things. They're out driving cars. They're out driving trucks. Because the black hats don't care. They don't give a shit if people get killed. They're there for one purpose and one purpose only. That is to bring your frequency down. And that's why I say, observe but don't absorb all this stuff. We are in a movie that we're able to have the front row seat and the popcorn to watch this thing play out. Don't get emotionally involved in what's going on. Don't even get wrapped up and emotionally involved with what the libtards are sounding off, because they don't have a clue. They just don't get it. Okay? And everything out there is a role play to wake up as many people as possible. Now, this shit show should have been over a long time ago. They know the Global Alliance and the GESARA people, NESARA people know, and Space Force knows who the righteous people are. They know who the good people are, and they know, but they've given everybody enough time to basically set themselves up financially, prepare for the the shutdowns and all this other stuff, over the years. But there's still, there's generals in this operation that want to continue to play this out, and to try to wake up, thousands and thousands of more people a day, because they are waking up. But humanity has been MK Ultra'd for 80 years. That's like 3 generations. They've had mind control. They are, look what happened to Ukraine after the Second World War, where they went in there and they just basically had mind control, and they were using Ukraine and the Ukraine people as a test dummies to see how many would basically volunteer their life and become a soldier of the old Reich system. And and Putin was overwatching all this. He was seeing this. They were, Putin has always been a natural enemy to the not the German people, but the Third Reich and the Fourth Reich and whatever it was, and also the Khazarian mafias, because that's their homeland. But over the years and centuries, they had branched out and taken over. They started with taking over people, influential people. Then they took over influential towns, and then they took over influential countries. And it got to such a point after these 80 years that they had such a stranglehold on humanity that they didn't care who was in power, who got elected. They didn't care. This is why it's so important that Trump finishes what he starts, continues cleaning out the swamp, the filthy stuff. And this last operation that was in Washington wasn't about just going in there and taking back Washington and dropping, the incorporated company. That was done years ago. They basically circled it around to go in there and take care of the bio labs that were underneath that city, that had arteries branching out to many other cities that were also trafficking people, okay, especially the little ones. And this is why we were losing millions and millions of children per year, was because of this. They had to take the head off the snake, and the head of the snake was in Washington, D.C. Okay? Yes, they were trying to clear out all the homeless, which they have relocated them far away from Washington into small homes, and the ones that wanted help were getting the best treatment possible that the United States Republic could do, and the rest that refused that were just going to be put in jail or a FEMA camp and fed and slowly come around, because they have been so brainwashed and full of drugs. So they're being handled, okay? Trump does not want to have people on the street. And mark my words, he will rebuild the United States, but he has to bring all of it down. That includes the banking system, that includes the money, everything, everything has to come down, okay? And the people that are on the inside track are the people that are holding crypto, a little bit of XRP, maybe XLM, and the people that have foreign cash, and other people that maybe have built up a supply or stacked up a supply of, gold coin or silver coin. Silver coin would be the way to go, because it's much cheaper right now. That stuff will always protect you from this simulated bullshit that we're going through right now. Okay, so I don't know how. I mean, if you want me to continue on these, this journey of what we're talking about, I'd be happy to continue with other videos about this. But this is what we're dealing with right now, and we have to just be patient, folks. We have to be patient. Patriots, don't get emotionally involved in what's going on, and stay in high vibration, because that is their kryptonite. Okay. Good luck, and God bless everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.